All right. All right. All right. Working for the weekend and Loverboy on WRSE. That's why we're all making it happen, because we're working for the weekend. That being said, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Very, very glad to be here. This is Good Times Friday, Good Times Radio TV. We're very glad to be here with you. And we're here live in studio with two members of the Jeannie McQueenie Puppet Show, Jeannie McQueenie and Roger. People, how is it going tonight? How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Good.
Hey, you forgot about me.
Oh.
I'm Chuck.
Yeah.
And what about my little girlfriend here? You forgot her too.
Belinda the ballerina and Chuck are here.
So we have 4 people total. We have 2 people and we have 2 puppets here. And we want to give them a very, very warm Good Times Friday welcome. So thank you guys very, very much for being on tonight. My band tomorrow's Alliance. We've played a couple of shows with Jeannie McQueenie. In fact, earlier, or I should say a season or 2 back, in December, we played some Christmas songs before one of your shows.
Belinda the ballerina.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. A lot of kids came out, a lot of parents, and just everybody seemed to have a great time. I mean, it was really,
we
really
have
cool.
a great time too. We just love to entertain people and,
Yeah.
and reach the kids and inspire. You know, one thing you'll notice that we do wear black. I mean, it's the puppets are the stars of the show, but you know, you can see us. It takes away a little bit of the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
It promotes the idea that maybe, hey, this is something you could go home and do yourselves.
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
and we like to, you know, kind of give people the same gift that has made
Mm-hmm.
such a wonderful difference in our own lives.
Yep. And then the ballerina one that you guys did, the ballerina play. It's got such a positive message. Very, you know, believe in yourself and your dreams, and just because, you know, just because people tell you one thing doesn't mean that that's how you're gonna be. You know, you can do whatever you want. You can chase whatever dreams you want as long as you feel that love for it. You know, that passion for it. And you guys are doing something great for kids, because all of the kids in that audience, they're at such a crucial age where they need to know that they can dream, that they need to believe in themselves, because this is when they grow to be who they're going to be. And Jeannie McQueenie, Roger, all you guys are helping them do that. So that's really awesome. How did you guys start this off? When did you guys say, all right, let's start entertaining kids with puppet shows? How did that all kind of start off?
I had a phone call about 3 years ago from somebody in my neighborhood who was helping a local children's author promote his new book with Buddy the Bus. They asked me if I would write a puppet show or create some puppets to promote his book at a book signing. And I thought about it and I said, well, okay. So I made a big bus puppet and all the people on the bus, and I wrote some songs and we performed the show, and it just, from that point on, people started asking me to do other shows, and it helped him. He told me he sold the most amount of books he ever sold just being, having me do that for him.
Now, was this your first time working with puppets, or did you do something in the past to have them call you and be like, hey, can you make this for us?
I have worked with children. I was director of children's theater. I've always built things. Okay. I've always built costumes, and I've always been in the arts. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how they knew that. How did they know that? Oh, because I did a show. I had done a show, yeah. A children's show at the music station.
That's very, very cool.
And they knew that I probably could do that. So, but it was nice because it kind of, when we first started, we didn't really say, let's do that. It was just all requests. And we'd have people call, my son's having a party. Can you do this? Can you, even last summer, for my show, I do Kids Rock Band, a mother said, oh, my son loves dinosaurs. Could you please put a dinosaur in your show? So we put a dinosaur in the show, and I put Spider-Man in the show one time, and
that's so cool.
Yeah, so I kind of just filled people's requests for different shows, and now I'm writing my own things. Pretty much, I'm just doing things I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Right now, going back to that first show. Now you guys have the main team. It's Jeannie, Jeff, Roger, and Nikki. And then there's a gentleman, Daryl, who plays piano and sings at times, right? He
right.
comes in to fill in every now and then. Out of that team, who was present at the first show?
Roger. Just Roger and me. We only did the shows for quite some time together.
Oh, cool.
And then when it got to be a little hard for me to do all the puppets, so I started adding other actors, and then the shows got a little more complicated, and I needed more characters. So.
And so, how did you go about finding Nikki and Jeff? Because they both do such a great job. I mean, you guys all do a great job. But what did Nikki and Jeff bring that made you, be like, okay, these people are perfect? Did you go through tryouts or anything, or how did that go?
Yeah, Nikki was in an audition, right? She came to the
yeah,
audition.
I had an ad on Craigslist, and she I had an ad in the Beverly Review.
Okay.
She responded to an ad I had in the Beverly Review.
That's very cool.
And then I interviewed her, and I ended up knowing her previous work in theater. I had seen her; she had worked with my daughters in some theater.
And then Jeff, how did you guys?
Jeff was a recommendation from my friend Catherine Smithko. Catherine Smithko is in a band with him.
Okay. Oh wow.
And because I said, I need a guitar player. You have to use Jeff Cust. Jeff Cust is the best.
Yeah.
And I called him up, and you didn't really hear him play guitar.
No, I didn't.
No, he's not really an actor, and he was doing me a favor being in Belinda the Ballerina.
Really? Okay.
He's
so he
really a
doesn't usually-
musician. He plays for most of the shows.
That's very cool.
He's a great musician.
Now, going back to playing and the shows themselves, you write all the songs, right? And
yes.
You write all the stories too?
Uh-huh.
How do you come about, how many stories do you have? How many stories and songs do you have total? Or even just
what do
stories
you think?
like acts that you play?
Well, songs, there's about 5 per show. I'd say we've got about 6 shows together.
Okay.
Probably. And, Jean is also done and sometimes does like storytelling type of things. So if you count all that, I mean, then there's quite a number of books you could kind of pick up a puppet and talk
I
and
got
sing
about
through
45
it. So
songs
all
I've written.
together,
Probably.
yeah, it comes out to quite a body of work, actually.
So let me separate songs and stories. How do you go about writing the stories? Like, what comes first, stories or songs?
Oh boy, they come together, actually. I will be inspired, for instance, Mikey's Deep Sea Adventure.
Okay.
That, I was inspired by a book I had been reading about fish are strange creatures. And I started to think, oh yeah, deep sea angler, yeah. And then it all unfolds. I have a very, very friendly muse that just is in my head all the time, saying, "Yeah, deep sea angler," and I hear the songs and the stories come like that. So.
Right on. And how do you generally write the songs? Now, do you play any instruments?
I play the guitar.
Okay. How long have you been playing for?
Well, I've been playing it a long time, but I don't know a lot of chords, so I get some help from this guy here, Roger. Helps me with chords and stuff. I mean, I can sing anything, but then I'll need some help picking out the chords. And then that's how you just write it. Then you sit there with the guitar, and like you said, stories and songs kind of go together, and you're just kind of moving forward. Do you ever find that how long do you find that it takes you to write a story and a group of songs to go with it to actually go from start to end, or is it all different? Is every story? Some are quicker than others. I just wrote a new one. I'm going to be performing at a country club for Easter, and that came rather quickly. Wouldn't you say, that Easter show? Yeah. Kind of, and as you start writing more characters, like Roger's going to play the part of the mole in that. He's posing as the Easter bunny, and I just thought of that. Oh, that'd be great if Roger was a mole trying to be the Easter bunny, and he gets busted. So, they just kind of unfold like that. Just cool. They do. The songs and the stories come together, though. Wouldn't you say? Mm-hmm. And I'm studying. I'm with Midwest New Musicals, a writing group, and so I'm getting a little help now. I like with my other show, Planet Panic. I'll bring that into class, and I played a few songs, and I had the class read the script, and that was just insanely wonderful. And I got feedback, and I went home and I just tweaked everything and that's something you need, because when you write by yourself, it's very lonely, and you need that help, you need that input. I'm very open to ideas and suggestions, and you should try this, try that, and I'm like, okay, I try everything.
Right.
And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I throw it out. But I will try anything to make it better.
Yeah.
So.
Which is definitely the best way to be, right? Is to be open.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly learning. No matter how old you are, you're constantly learning. And people, I was just saying this earlier, that your perception is your reality, and God knows that people have so many different ideas. Everybody sees things differently. So when you can look at a landscape and see one thing, and someone will see something completely different. For instance, have you guys ever seen the movie The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd?
Oh yes, I have seen that. Yes.
Basically, Dan Aykroyd is some crazy money-hungry guy who works at some stock market job, and John Candy is some happy-go-lucky guy. He works some regular kind of dead-end job, and is just happy being middle class. And they're sitting on their back porch and they're looking at this huge landscape of trees and water, and Dan Aykroyd looks at it and he's like, what I see? I see a green belt. I see, and he just goes on for 2 minutes about all this ways to make money, and then he goes, Chet, I ask you, what do you see? And Chet's quiet, and he's like, I just see trees. And it's like, what I'm getting at in that spiel is that it is always good to be open to what other people have to say, and that's how you will succeed in what you're doing, because people like to know that their thoughts are being considered, which is great. How you put in certain things that people would like in the puppet shows. For instance, Spider-Man, dinosaurs. You're tweaking things to fit their wants, not even their needs, but their wants, and that's really, really great.
Well, children enjoy that too. They have favorite characters. Sometimes I have to say no, though. Somebody did call me yesterday and say, can you do Mickey Mouse? I'm like, lady, no, I don't want to be in jail.
Right,
no, I don't do Disney. No, I don't do Disney. No, Disney's very strict.
Oh, yeah, they are.
And, kids don't need that. Kids are wonderful. You can create anything with children.
Yeah.
And they'll be happy. They don't, I mean, they think they want their favorite characters and stories, but really, they're good with. They would be good with our alien puppet, and they love Belinda the ballerina. Those little kids. I had so many good comments from that show. Really, I had people talking about Belinda the ballerina for a really long time.
Yeah, that was a great show.
They loved it.
That really was.
Well, that author was good. There was a story written by Amy Young, and she was generous enough to grant me permission, and her publisher, which was Viking Press, said, and I don't get permission from other publishing companies like I did from Viking Press to adapt a story like that. I have a really hard time. There's a bunch of other stories I wanted to do, and they want to charge me a lot of money. They don't, and I'm like, are you kidding?
Right, I'm giving you.
This is a great way to promote your books and for kids to have the characters come to life and to want to buy the books, but they say no.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Well, they're the ones missing out, because that was a great play.
Yeah, and Amy Young sold so many books, and they continue to. Children are inspired by these books, so.
Yeah. Which is awesome. Let's talk a bit about the puppets themselves, because these are really cool looking puppets. Especially this alien. I mean, Belinda, she is a beautiful lady.
That's
take her out
Chuck
on a date.
now, remember.
Oh,
Well,
Chuck,
let me just tell you about these puppets. I did not make these puppets. I have a new person I'm working with. His name is Patrick Hughes.
Okay.
He's an incredible puppet designer. And I told him what I was doing. I told him what I needed. So we kind of worked together on inspiration. And he designed these, and he built these puppets for me. Because I don't really do foam. The puppets that I make are usually out of paper mache. Okay. And they don't have as much life. They don't have, their mouths don't move as much and the bodies don't move. But I told him I needed a ballerina puppet that was dancing with these gigantic feet.
So then Patrick made both of these.
Patrick Hughes made both. And he's going to make, for the show that Chuck is starring in, Planet Panic, he's going to be making some more of the planets for me. The moon and the sun and the earth and Mercury and all the other planets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even Pluto, even though he's gotten kicked out of the solar system.
Which is lame. Come on, Pluto's got to be there. I consider it.
He's so angry. You know how those planets are.
I think that's actually why they threw him out because he kept giving Mars crap, you know. And it's like Mars is just like, you know what, Venus is having some trouble with this Pluto guy. He's way out there. He's just a small guy anyway. No one really wants him here. Pluto's like, what? They're like, exactly. You can't even hear us. Get out of the solar system. You're just a star or whatever they call them, a rock, whatever. Which is lame. Pluto's a planet, in my opinion. Anyway, back to the show. Let's talk about some of the gigs that you've played. You've been playing for three years. You guys have been putting
Just
on
about,
this
yeah.
show just about 3 years, and in that time, you guys have built up a pretty impressive resume. What is your Roger and Jeannie? I'd love to hear from both of you. What was your favorite performance that you guys put on, and why?
I can answer that. I think you'll agree. The Taste of Chicago.
Oh yeah, the Taste of Chicago was a lot
We
of fun.
had, well, it's because I got to ride in the golf cart too with all the puppets, waving to the masses. Hello, I'm Jeannie McQueenie. Nobody else got to ride in it except me. I'm like, yeah, they can all walk. I'm in the golf cart. They're really organized there. You get to park your car.
Uh-huh.
They pick you up with all your gear,
Oh, wow.
take you over to we were at the WXRT stage. And it was quick and it was crazy, but it
and
was
there's
so much
a
fun.
nice crowd, and it was a nice big kind of venue. I mean, I think it's about as close to being a rock star as most puppeteers will ever
Yes.
get. I mean,
It was fun.
like, yeah.
And then we did a
Downtown
festival
and-
in Oregon, Illinois this past
and that's
October.
been, that
That's
was
awesome.
fun.
Was that fun?
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Yeah, that was fun. That
We
was
had
a good
we did our show Alice in Wonderland, and we drove. You know where Oregon, Illinois is near
Oh, yeah.
DeKalb.
Yes.
And we did 3 performances of our Alice in Wonderland, and we were a little worried because we were in front of the town hall, and there was nobody there. And then by the time we started, the crowds gathered, and
Mhm.
we had a huge response. It was really fun. It was the whole town, the whole theme this year was Alice in Wonderland.
Oh wow.
So everybody was dressed in costumes, and
Right.
yeah, it was fun. And we got invited to go back next year too.
That's awesome.
And next year is a fairy
Which
tale.
is this year.
This year, I mean
Yeah,
this year,
okay,
and
this
we're
year.
going to be doing our show Pinocchio.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
That is really cool. Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you guys something, and this may seem like kind of an odd question, but it is a question that I am actually generally interested in. Do you guys get nervous ever before going on?
I'm not. I don't. Do you
no,
get nervous?
just like if people don't show up or something.
That's right.
Yeah, that's about the only
I probably get a little
Yeah.
anxiety ridden because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and I like people to know their stuff and know their cues and be ready, and and so I get a little. You don't want to be around me. And he's used to it. Roger knows. He doesn't take it personally when I start screaming at everybody, but no. Yeah, like a drummer didn't show up for a show we did this year. That was.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't really upset about that.
No.
He showed up 2 hours late, and yeah, I'm like the
2
show.
hours late. What did you even say? Like,
You know what? He said he thought I told him the show started at 2, and he showed up at 12, or he showed up at.
He showed
Well,
up
what
basically
happened?
like 10 minutes before we started the show. I mean, he was
Right.
supposed to have been there like an hour and a half before
Right, I
that.
told him the
Mm.
show was at 12.
And he thought you said 2 or something.
Yeah, and he was coming early, but I don't know. You just go on. You go on with the show. You can't
Yeah.
sit around and fret about things.
So then
Yeah.
you just told him just sit this one out and.
He was really upset. He was quite upset. But that's like the only thing that's really happened that was kind of unplanned, right?
Yeah.
We haven't really had anything. We have pretty,
Mhm.
Jeff is just amazing. He's so wonderful.
Mhm.
And he shows up and he's always on time. He's always, he'll bring his daughter too. His daughter is a wonderful fiddle player, and she'll come and sit in and play. And then she's done some puppet shows for us too. We've had a variety of people. We've had like 13 different people
Mhm.
the last few years
Wow.
come in and work as musicians and puppeteers, and yeah, it's really great.
Right on. So you guys have been going for 3 years. You guys have been going or just about 3 years to be precise, I suppose. You guys have been doing some great things. what is your favorite thing about performing and what you guys are giving to the audience and the kids and parents watching? Like, what is it that, you know, you guys finish a show and you guys like, man, I'm so glad that I was able to give this today. What is that you guys are giving?
You know, the best thing that ever happened to me was after the show we did at the Mayfield. Was it Mayfield or Mayfair?
The Mayfield, that's right.
A mother came up to me and said that it was her son was autistic, and she said it was the first time he ever sat through an entire show and participated and loved it. Mm-hmm. She was so thankful that we gave him something that he, you know, he could play the instruments. He was clapping his hands. He had a monkey. I have the rod puppets, you know, the monkey puppets. He was operating a puppet, and she was just so pleased. That really warmed my heart. That felt good, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because she was so, it's, you know, and other kids really, they do appreciate the show. And a principal at a school, we did a show for 400 kids at a school, and the principal thanked me for reaching out to the special needs children. I didn't know I was reaching out to them. I mean, I used to take kids from the audience to participate in the show. I didn't know the difference between the kids. It was just random. But I ended up picking mostly the special needs kids. Mm-hmm. And he said that I gave him a gift that nobody else could give them, that gift of participating and being a part of something that made him feel special. Mm-hmm. So that really made me feel good.
That is really
yeah, because
awesome.
that's
amazing.
You can't do that for kids. Mm-hmm. It just has to happen. You have to give them situations where you hope that'll happen, but you know, the more. And he was a very open-minded principal. It was nice that he appreciated that kind of work. And I know he wants me to come back and do another show. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow's Alliance can come and play.
Hey, we would love that. We would love it. We would love it.
Yeah.
This is my second last question for the night, but what's next for you guys?
Well, I'm going to Los Angeles in April to the music expo, the ASCAP Music Expo.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to be pitching my music to some producers and children's television shows. And I'm looking for, you know, a little outlet for my music that I've been writing.
Let's actually talk about that a bit. You just released a CD with a couple of songs. One is titled Jimmy, which is great.
Yes, Jimmy.
That's my name. The band has been practicing up on them. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you made that album and how that all kind of got going for you?
Well, my kids were opening a music store in Beverly, and Roger and I talked about what we could do to help them promote the music store. So we actually, we just started sitting down, and I just
came
started
up with the show. It's about kids learning music and starting a rock band.
Yeah, I just started writing, and the puppets have evolved. They started quite different than what they look like now. They were smaller, and now they're very, large, and they have very defined features. And Roger and I went around to all the schools in the neighborhood helping my kids promote the store. I'd say, we'll do a puppet show if we could pass out the flyers for the store. We went everywhere for like a year.
Wow.
And did the show.
Wow.
Wasn't it about a year?
It was a while, yeah.
And then
a school year.
And then after a while I thought, wow, maybe we should just do this show and charge money. And we started getting people to request us to come to their schools, and it's kind of funny how it evolved. And
then we built up from there. You can find us on Gig Salad and ChicagoFun.com, and we've got our own website. And we're on YouTube. We are at JeannieMcQueenie.com, and that's Jeannie with 2 N's, I-E, McQueenie with 2 E's.
Yeah.
And you can.
We're finding that what I do is pretty unique. Not many people do as much participation or live music. A lot of puppeteers use taped music, and are just one person. I have 3 people in my shows, and sometimes bands. We like to have those bands.
Which is awesome. I'm looking very, very forward to working with you guys.
Yeah,
It's
did you
gonna be a lot of
talk
fun.
about the Latino Book
Yes,
Festival?
April 1st.
April
gonna be fun.
1st, we're
It's
going to
gonna
be
be a lot
with
of fun.
Tomorrow's Alliance is
Yeah.
backing up Jeannie McQueenie's Kids Rock Band show.
Yeah, we're going to have a great time. This is our first time doing something like this, and it's going to be really, really great to be part of a show. And I mean, you know, really just be part of a show where it's so funny. After playing in a band, it's like it's almost going to be nice to not have the focus like on us, to just be kind of like a team. Like we're part of like a huge team. We're just kind of kicking back, playing, and then you guys are just carrying it. You know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you guys very, very much for being on tonight.
Oh, thank
Roger,
you.
man, thank you very much for being on. I shake
Yeah.
the.
Are you
hand of the
playing
alien
a
going.
song from our CD?
Oh yeah, actually, I'll get that. I'll get that going right now, Jeannie. Thank you guys very, very much, Belinda, and then Chuck,
Chuck.
This is Chuck.
Belinda, Jeannie. Thank you very, very much.
Thank
for
you,
being on.
Jimmy.
You guys can check out the Jeannie McQueenie Puppet Show at JeannieMcQueenie.com. That's JeannieMcQueenie.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys can check them out there. You guys can also search them and find them on YouTube, Gig Salad, and there was one more,
Chicago Fun.
and ChicagoFun.com. So please check them out. They're an awesome, awesome group. Really, really great people, and they're doing great things for kids and families, and really just keeping people knowing that they can keep on dreaming and that anything that they want in their life is attainable. And it's so funny because that's such a strong message, but that's what you guys are doing, really.
Exactly.
Helping kids dream and helping kids to bring their dreams to life. So you guys are doing awesome.
Thank you.
So thank you guys very, very much for being on. We're going to play the first track off of Jeannie McQueenie's album here, and this song is titled Jimmy Jimmy. Do you want to go into this song at all? Like talk about it a bit before we play it? Or?
No. I think it's about two boys that want to start their own band. And this is their first song that they have put together, and they're playing it for the kids, and they want to get feedback and see how the crowd likes it.
Right on. Well, this is the Jeannie McQueenie Puppet Show with Jimmy Jimmy on WRSE.
Jimmy, Jimmy, look what I found. I found a snake.
Look at this guy over here.
You hit it like
Chuck, he's falling apart.
I might have,